What's up, what's up, what's up, people? Hope everybody's doing well this morning. We got a really exciting show for you all. But of course, before we get started, this is a morning show, so we like to get our shout outs out the way for all those who show up early, because they are part of the rare people who actually get the notifications in the morning. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, we're going to be talking about this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but we're also going to definitely be talking about this Moise situation. The former, I guess I should say, Haitian president, because he's not alive anymore. Todd Mink, so do with DEA. It was looking like. It was looking like. It is what it is looking like. And I just remember, we're going to talk about it during the show quick, but I just remember distinctly being like, yeah, so I know that they're saying there's absolutely no way he was DEA, but given what we know about the U.S., I'm absolutely not going to rule it out. Troy Rato, what's going on, man? What's going on? Oh, hold up. Mika, what's going on? So I think there needs to be a very thorough look at the connection with the Clinton foundations. I know they have their money in Haley. You're absolutely right. There should have been a connection. I mean, there should have been an investigation into the Clinton Foundation regarding Haiti. Hell, even before this. And I'm pretty sure the people of Haiti agree. I mean, you'd be surprised. Anyone, some people in Haiti don't know necessarily how deep the Clintons have their hands in everything, because obviously there are different levels of access to information, especially given the economic situation there. However, anybody with any level of a college degree or what, they have been refusing to vote Democrat since before, independents and progressives like maybe you or I ever was like, nah, 100% would never do it. If there's anybody for a lot of them, if there's anybody who is running as a Democrat in the federal level, they don't trust them, because there's a 99% chance they have to be connected or at least complicit in what the Clintons have done in Haiti. Papa buffering already? I don't know. I don't see it buffering. Is it buffering? Lisa, you have a friend from Haiti? I know a lot of their connections. Gotcha. The live feed is on Rockfin. In fact, it has to be on Rockfin, because you know what we got to do. We're going to talk about the Haiti situation first, and then we got to switch over, because, it's talking about the vid. We got to talk about the vid. So whenever we talk about the vid, we got to I gotta say that part quietly, because I don't want YouTube to hear me. Devin Morton said when they connected it to someone in Florida, I wasn't surprised. Florida, the state of Kodaks. Kodaks meaning Haitians? Hey, look, man. Kodak don't work for the feds, bro. I don't listen to Kodak's music, but we don't do that Kodak slander out here. Well, I'm not gonna do that Kodak slander out here, because Kodak really be out here, and so does his people. So Kodak, I support you, bro. I don't think you're connected to them at all. Kodak's people really be out here, cuz. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you share this video. Get started here in about 2 minutes. Yeah, I know Kodak is Haitian, but I'm just saying I just left like don't want to say like the course was connected to Florida because there's a bunch of Kodaks out here. No. Kodak and his people ain't participating in the toppling of governments. I can promise you. That boy too busy trying to escape petty gun charges. The Black Air Force. Are you referring to the guy who got caught? That he looks like part of like a military type of guy, because he does. He looks like he was like ex-CIA. I mean, he did look like that. It's pretty obvious. You know, military guys or vets, but specifically intel guys, they got this way about them where you could kind of tell off jump, like, somebody groomed you. What did Clinton and Bush do with the millions collected? Millions collected from what? From Haiti? They put it in their bank accounts. What you mean? I don't think there's really much of a debate there. I don't even think I got to say that part. I mean, everybody, we do say it, but I think everybody at this point knows, like, literally that's what happened. They put in their bank accounts, they reinvested into new businesses to control their economy. I'm gonna give it about 1 more minute. I'm gonna get it popping. Don't you start, Arnu. My cat already trying to start some shit. I'm gonna start screaming from the other room. Such big babies. It's okay, they love their daddy, that's why. Todd, as a former, well, not a former vet, as a vet, I intentionally make sure to not look like a vet also, because vets look like tools because they usually are or were. I didn't look like I belonged in the military even when I was in it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Got to share this to my Facebook people. No, I hate Facebook. Or did I? I did. And we are live right now, by the way, on YouTube and on Rockfin. All right, people. Let the cat in. Nope. He gonna start trying to scratch my chair up. You see my, not my chairs, man. I don't want my cat scratching my chair up. He gonna try to take my green screen down because when he sees something hanging, he thinks it's a challenge. He's not that loud, fortunately. Arnu isn't the loud one, but he just does his damage in silence. Y'all never see it until this whole thing come collapsing. He'll knock down a light. I'm telling you, unplug the camera. I've seen him do it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Before we do though, I'm gonna go ahead and share our Rockfin link it's in the description, but I also want to share it in the group chat, because we are going to be talking about the VED. And anytime we are engaging in conversations about the VED, we have to make sure that we don't say anything or say the quiet part out loud on YouTube. Because even if we are getting it from a mainstream media article, we know that they will suppress us on the algorithm. So make sure you follow that Rockfin link so that we can ensure all of you catch the very, very important discussion about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Edwin Medina is over there in the Rockfin chat. Edwin, no, I see your like on Rockfin. It might be taking a little bit to refresh, but I see your like on Rockfin. Don't worry about it. All right, everybody get that? So if you want to hop over to Rockfin now, that is the place, because we're demonetized on YouTube, so that's the place where if you want to ask us a question in the middle of the show, you can do like the super rail or the tip to ask those questions. So if you do want to hop over to Rockfin now and follow us there, I strongly urge you to go ahead and do so at this point. All right. With that being said, let's get this show on the road, people. What is going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream segment of Mika Says Ukasa. And of course, as always, I am your humble host, Niko House. We have a very exciting show for you today. We're going to be talking about two huge topics that have been kind of ongoing for the last couple of weeks, or in the case of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's something that's been going on for months that a lot of people, have been wary of, and Johnson & Johnson's already had their issues regarding their vaccine, but now a lot more about it. That particular vaccine is coming into fruition that a lot of people should be paying attention to. And of course, we're going to be talking about this. This is one of our pat ourselves on the back moments with the Moise assassination and the recent news that was just dropped last night around, I want to say about 9 or 10 hours, and it's even been updated in the last couple of hours, about the suspect who is actually supposedly DEA. Yeah, that's awkward after they came out and said there was no way. Remember, we had the whole conversation. No way, there's DEA. He was like, no way. That's what the ambassador said. Just doesn't make any sense. No way. Like, man, how do you know that? Where the facts at? And he was just like, I told you the facts. No way that could be DEA. Remember that video we did like, 4 days ago? Yeah. Remember I told y'all, no way isn't enough to believe them. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Just to let you all know, the second half of the video is going to be the Johnson & Johnson discussion. For that half of the video, this is YouTube. We have to not talk about that on YouTube. So I put the link to the Rockfin stream, which we are currently on as well, in the group chat, and it's also in the description. So that's where we're going to have that second part of the conversation. But I want to make sure that you all know that we're having a second part of the conversation live, which is why we're just going to switch over smoothly to Rockfin exclusively once we start that part of the conversation. I feel like everybody in this chat understands exactly why we have to do that. By the way, you know how we got demonetized? And that was supposed to be a temporary thing. We were supposed to be able to reapply after about 2 months or something like that. And then we did reapply, me and the Convo Couch. I believe even Frank Analysis did, but I know for a fact Convo Couch did. Convo Couch has been waiting for 3 months for their approval for remonetization. I'm going on about 2. They're literally just not even responding to our requests now. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So that's something we're going to be definitely addressing in a separate video here pretty soon, because it's getting kind of ridiculous. And when we do that, I really hope that you all, just push that video, support, because that was, we have a network here. And one of the things that make our network so successful is the people's individual ability to monetize their brand and their content for themselves. I don't know if y'all know, but I know I run the network and I started it, but I don't make any money off of any of the people on this network at all. Because the goal is to help grow their brand, to push the message that I know, because of their consistency and their dedication, is going to be the truth in their own unique ways to present that truth. So that's the important thing. It's harder for them to do that consistently without having all of their streams of income available to them. And myself, Frank Analysis, in the convo couch is who I can think of off the top of my head. We got our legs cut from under us. I mean, for me in the convo couch, that was a third of our income. So it's a big issue. So for those of you who want to help support us in the in-between time, the best way to do so is to endorse us on Rockfin. That's where you can do super chats. You can endorse us there, and that's how you get all of if you endorse one channel, you get everybody's premium content on Rockfin, not just one person's. So thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and address this Haiti situation. So once again, for all my people who were here last week, you go ahead and you turn your back like this, turn your body to the right. I know this might be your left, but I'm turning to the right. Turn your body to the right, extend out your hand like this, reach back and go ahead like this. Go pat yourself real quick. Pat yourself. Go ahead and get your little pat, little self-love. Because remember how I said, I may not know everything about everything, but I know some things about a lot of things, okay? And one thing I know is that when people start speaking Spanish and claiming that they're from the DEA, especially as sloppy as they were, when president securities go missing suddenly, and when they're speaking Spanish, by the way, in the country, which is Haiti, where they speak Creole, I know that they might say they're not DEA, but I'm not going to rule that out, because if they ain't DEA, they're CIA. And if they are DEA, they're probably put there by the CIA, because we know enough about the DEA and its involvement in Central South America and just the global South in general, that it's likely that they were involved. Welp, I want to point you all to an article in the Miami Herald, who actually, for the most part, does decent work, except for when it comes to election season. But I would give Miami local media, honestly, their flowers, because they do fantastic work. And this is another piece where they did some great work. It says here, former DEA informant linked to Moise investigation turn to the agency after assassination. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. Really, really bad movie plot stuff. All right. It says here, a suspect night. The Miami Herald and the McClathy Washington Bureau have learned that the suspect is Joseph Gerton Vincent, first arrested more than 20 years ago for filing false information on a U.S. passport application, and who went on to become an occasional DEA informant. Vincent, 55, was identified by Haitian authorities over the weekend as an arrested suspect, along with another South Florida Haitian immigrant named James Solages, 35, who until April was a maintenance director in a Lantana Senior Living Center. Both men told investigators they were hired as translators. Now, why do y'all think that they were hired as translators? Is it possibly because the people who committed the assassination were for some reason speaking Spanish? And do you think they were merely translators, or were they handlers that the U.S. government could dissociate with to guide them on their little mission? And then it now makes all the sense in the world why those Spanish speakers, when they were caught, were screaming, "We're working for the DEA. We're working for the DEA." Well, if he was hired as a translator, who hired him? And why would then the people that he was hired to translate for scream DEA? And just weird coincidence, this guy is a DEA informant. Once again, not a math scientist, people. I'm not a math scientist. I'm decent at addition, less decent at subtraction, or way less decent at division. But I'm good enough to put one and one together. Just saying. So the article goes on to say, information swirled for days, some of it first reported by the Miami Herald about the DEA's ties to Vincent. And late Monday, the DEA confirmed only that a former informant was among the arrested in Haiti. The DEA confirmed that only that a former informant was arrested in Haiti. Subject apparently reached out to the DEA following Moise's killing, alerting officials to his link and forcing the DEA to reveal one of its sources. An exceptional development. A source close to Vincent speaking on the condition of anonymity because of the volatile situation in Haiti, which has asked for a U.S. troop presence, confirmed that the South Florida man, if I haven't heard that one before. Anyway, the South Florida man was indeed once an informant for the DEA. There's no such thing as once was an informant for the DEA. Either you're an informant for the DEA or you're dead. There is no at one point in your life. Once you become an informant or a snitch or what do they call it? A fed. There's a lot of, once you're one of those, once you get put into that fold, there is no getting out, bro. That's it. But it sounds good to say former, right? In a situation where literally everyone who got arrested is claiming to be DEA. It's neither here nor there, though, I'm sure. Another news source is also demanding anonymity. Said Vincent went by the pseudonym Oliver. Agency officials would not confirm the identity of the source that they were acknowledging in unusual fashion. At times, one of the suspects in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moise was a confidential source to the DEA, one DEA official said. Following the assassination of President Moise, the suspect reached out to his contacts at the DEA. A DEA official assigned to Haiti urged the suspect to surrender to local authorities and, along with the U.S. State Department colleague, shared information with the Haitian government that assisted in the surrender and arrest of the suspect and one other individual. Probably another DEA guy, because the DEA got to protect its own. That man got sent right back to the United States. Do you think that, do you know how long this type of stuff takes? But he was sent back to the U.S. like that, bro. Extradition hearings don't take that long, bro. You assisted in the assassination of another country's president. Doesn't that usually mean you have to stand trial in that country first? Usually. Right? It's generally what happens. Like if somebody came over here and assassinated one of our presidents, I can almost guarantee you that man will get extradited after his 60-year sentence. That's when he would get extradited. He'd probably be dead before he got extradited. That's almost how it always works. But once again, we're supposed to just blindly accept lies that are being told to us by the official narrative perpetuated by mainstream media and this nonsensical ambassador for Haiti who claimed immediately that we can't hold safe elections until the United States interferes and gives us weapons to do so. Yeah. The article goes on to say the DEA announcement is even more stunning because of reports in Haiti that the attackers who killed the president shouted through a loudspeaker that a DEA raid was taking place. The DEA steadfastly denies any knowledge or involvement in the monumental events that unfolded in impoverished Haiti. Because why would the DEA admit that they were involved in an assassination of the puppet they put in power? Because then you got to start asking some other questions. This is wild, bro. This is wild. This is a massive story. I don't feel like there are enough people covering this. I don't think there are going to be enough people. I think Combo Coach's probably going to cover it. I'm sure Steve and them are probably going to cover it, but this is wild. Interim Haitian Police Chief Leon Charles said Sunday that among the items police found in the home of Christian Emmanuel Sanon, an alleged mastermind of the plot, right, was a hat with DEA written on it and a cache of arms and ammunition. It's like they're giving us the answers to the test. And you know, some people are still about to fail. You know that, right? And some of you might be wondering, which I would probably be wondering as well. Well, I don't understand. Why would the people who are part of the institution of Haiti, the institution that allowed Moise to be president because of the masterful puppeteering of the United States, why would they allow stuff like this to get out? Well, you have to understand right now in Haiti, I think there's a little bit of confusion amongst the ranks, because the way this usually goes, people, is that you are on one of two sides. You're part of the puppet regime, and whatever that could mean, mean you're part of the government. You can be part of the business side. You can be part of the policing side. And it's that or you're not. But what we are seeing is that just the recently quote unquote elected puppet regime leader was just assassinated. So now no one knows what side's the right side. So this is what generally happens when you're just looking out for your own self-interest. When you don't know whose side to pick, you pick your own every single time. And that's what we're seeing here. People are covering for their butts. They're worried that if they were connected to Moise, that it's possible that the DEA, the CIA, or just the United States in general could go after them next if they were too connected. That's my guess. So it would make sense that anonymous sources start coming out. It would make sense that there would be an interim police chief who probably could be considered a nuisance until the new police chief gets there and is in the pockets of somebody that belongs to the U.S. It would make sense that he would come out and be like, hey everybody, man had to say DEA on it. Here it goes, DEA, U.S., United States. Yup, the U is capital and so is the S. That people, the DEA that belongs to them, that person had their hat in the crib. I'm just letting everybody know, not for any reason. Like, I'm not trying to protect myself or anything like that. I'm not trying to make sure that the U.S. doesn't come after me and, by making sure that everyone knows the U.S. was involved. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just putting out the information like a good police chief. Oh, by the way, there were weapons too. Weapons, ammunition, DEA hat. Just putting out the information. Y'all think that that's what police chiefs who are in the pockets of people do? No. But nobody knows who's in whose pocket anymore. It is a free-for-all. It is a melee now. And you are now seeing the ramifications of that. Just saying. It says Sonona's a medical doctor who had worked in the Boynton Beach area, which is way up north in South Florida, past West Palm. Or before West Palm, my apologies. He appears in numerous online videos criticizing the Haitian government. Officials in Haiti allege Sonon hoped to be installed as president of Haiti in the aftermath of the assassination. Now, I want to be clear about something. Do I believe this part? No. No, I don't. Do I believe a medical doctor from Boynton Beach organized an assassination plot from South Florida with Colombians to install himself as the president of Haiti? No, I don't believe that. That's stupid. Like, why would the U.S. government work with someone whose whole goal was to overthrow the guy they put in? If anything, if that was true, Sonon wouldn't be alive, because he'd be a liability if he had that much power and that much connections to overthrow the Haitian government. Like, just from common sense, that wouldn't make any sense. And we know that they lie, right? And this looks like a good little patsy to put everything on. Right? Once again, do I believe these people were the ones who did assassinate him were involved with the DEA? Yeah, of course they were. at bare minimum. Once again, likely it's more likely that they were even higher than that. The orders came from even higher up than that. But do I believe that Mr. Christian Emmanuel Sanan is the alleged mastermind of the entire plot? You're telling me Sanan was able to pull the former Haitian president's security away and work with the DEA agent to get this done? Bro, come on. Come on. Todd said the U.S. equals Hydra. You're absolutely right. Whew, man, these people not even trying anymore. Yeah, man. And it's funny because I feel like Miami Herald, in their defense, had to put that in there as some type of disclaimer, because if you leave this too open-ended, then the conclusion is what? This was the U.S. is doing. So they put all the stuff that, like, clearly this is the U.S. involved in this. And they had to put, man, yeah, I guess, and they found this guy Sanan, and, you know, he was kind of the mastermind, allegedly. So, like, they're just trying to cover their bases here. It said the Justice Department on Monday night issued a statement saying the agency's initial assessment of the assassination has been completed. Excuse me. It says an initial assessment has been conducted in Haiti by senior U.S. officials. So it's going to be a very, very trustworthy response. The department will continue to support the Haitian government in its review of the facts and circumstances surrounding the heinous attack, said Anthony Coley, a DOJ spokesman. The department will also investigate whether there were any violations of U.S. criminal law in connection with this matter. Thought I just said that. I thought I just said somebody from this country was involved in masterminding it, and then another person was a translator for the assassins, also from this country. Pretty sure conspiracy to assassinate world leaders is definitely against U.S. government, U.S. law. I don't know. Maybe not, but I think so. Good. About the Moise link and the leaders of other countries, Africa, recently being assassinated because they refused the COVID vaccines. So somebody brought that up. I actually haven't looked as much into Moise's refusal to administer the COVID vaccines. I might do it while we're here. I don't have a reason not to. After I get through this article, we can check that out. I am familiar with the African leaders, though. I'm familiar with the African leaders. But Moise, I definitely know that would be an interesting turn of events. It really would. Because if that was the case, then it would make sense why they were so swift in taking action to get rid of him, despite him being a puppet, because of Haiti's history of kind of marching to the beat of their own drum when it comes to revolution. They're pioneers. While we're here, the source, man, look at these guys. Whew! What dialect of Creole and Patois do y'all think they speak? Is it the Espanol dialect? Bro, man, got an army vest on. This is an army weapon. This is an army shotgun. This is an M4A1. No, this is an M4. Excuse me. That was an M16A1 or A2. Excuse me. But yeah, this is an army shotgun. Oh, bro, they're carrying droid phones. Man, we should have known. See, y'all got to know who the bad guys are. See, if y'all watch Marvel, y'all know this. You're not allowed to actually carry an iPhone in Marvel if you're considered to be a good guy. Did you know that? They'll only ever carry droid phones because droids are for the fucking feds. And Kevin Feige doesn't like the feds. And that's why I like Kevin Feige. But look at these guys. Holy shit. Look at those Haitians. Says the source close to Vincent said the West Palm Beach man worked as a... Oh, excuse me, I skipped something. None of the three South Florida suspects appear to have been assigned a lawyer yet, and they have not been made available for interviews. Their versions of events or those offered by the Haitian government cannot be independently confirmed. The source close to Vincent said the West Palm Beach man worked as a paid informant who helped the DEA facilitate the arrest of drug trafficking targets, including the infamous Guy Philippe, in early 2017. Oh, so just one of the few DEA informants that can speak Spanish. Like one of the few DEA Haitian informants that can speak Spanish just happened to end up in Haiti to assassinate the U.S. puppet regime president. Once again, crazy coincidences going on here, guys. Crazy coincidences, I'm sure. I don't know why they're giving me all this information about Philippe. Oh shit. Philippe leadership in 2004 coup d'etat against then President Jean Bertrand Aristide led to the president's ouster, and Human Rights Watch accused him of overseeing unlawful killings. In the aftermath, Philippe, along with other Haitian police officers, politicians, and drug traffickers, became entangled in the U.S. crackdown on Haiti as a narcotics hub for Colombian cocaine. Didn't I tell y'all I was gonna be Colombia that was involved, bro? Didn't I tell? Listen, everybody. I gotta tell y'all a secret. They don't call me Niko Damas for nothing. They don't call me Niko Damas for nothing. I told y'all this is literally gonna come out. I told y'all DEA shit was probably real. I told you that they were going like, oh man, it's going to find somebody to put the plot on. I told you that Colombia was involved. Not Argentina, not Brazil, okay? Not Mexico, not Guatemala, not Honduras, none of it. I said, it's going to be Colombia. It's got to be Colombia. Because we're talking about DEA, we're talking about assassinations, we're talking about Spanish speakers, and the U.S. is involved. It's going to be Colombia. And it was somebody who was deeply involved with catching a man entangled in a Colombian cartel, probably facilitated by the U.S. Like I said, it's not like they don't give you the answer to the test when it comes to this stuff. They do constantly. You just have to be consistent and observational enough to see the obvious, or at least what I feel like a lot of people here feel is obvious. I want to look into this. No, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna go to DuckDuckGo. I want to look into this claim about the Haitian president denying vaccines. Before we move on to this next subject. Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh goddamn. That was the first thing that comes up. And the plot thickens. Whoo! This is the Haitian Times, y'all. Haitian president. Look at this cool guy with his arms folded in a nice shirt. That's a really cool guy looking, right? Look at that guy, man. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. I trust him. Haiti rejects COVID-19 vaccine from the WHO, which is the World Health Organization. Says the Haitian government has declined to receive the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine proposed to the World Health Organization. According to the EFE, a Dominican news outlet, about 756,000 vaccine doses were scheduled to arrive in Haiti in May, free of charge to the government, according to The Guardian. Haiti has asked for vaccines from other drug makers, an unnamed government source told EFE. However, the country's lack of deep refrigeration infrastructure can only accommodate the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Well, that would be awkward considering what we're about to talk about with Johnson & Johnson. But it says, which don't require, those two vaccines, deeply cold temperature environments for handling and safekeeping. I feel like it's silly to pretend that a country doesn't have the ability to refrigerate. The country's lack of deep refrigeration infrastructure. Look, I know Haiti got it bad, bro. What the fuck? On one of the 22 houses in Bel Air, Port-au-Prince, that were on fire during a gang attack in April. What does that got to do with refrigeration? You're just random gang attack, but yeah, man, look at this building. Can't you tell we don't have the ability to refrigerate things? I feel like if you're administering vaccines of any kind, like institutionally, you should definitely have the ability to refrigerate things. I mean, isn't that what y'all call on the U.S. to help to make sure to do? If the U.S. isn't doing that, what the hell else are they doing there? Are they just using all the resources in Haiti and taking advantage of the people for the U.S.'s own good? Are you telling me that's what's happening? Is that why they don't have refrigerators? They should have refrigerators, bro. Even damn Panama and Mexico got refrigerators. Okay? I'm just saying. They may not got air conditioners, but they got refrigerators. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's continue. At least 13 were killed, 4 injured, and 5 people went missing over 2 days of violence. Don't know what this has to do with that, though. Oh, it's a separate article. My apologies. Oh, here we go. Let's look a little bit deeper, guys. Oh, see, I don't read French, so that's going to have to not happen. I don't read French. So let's go back to DuckDuckGo. So let's see if we can find some more stuff, man. It's the plot thickens. That article was from April 2021. Man, this is crazy. I love when y'all give me new stuff to look up. It always ends up being worth it. Y'all make sure y'all like this video and share this video. Haiti refuses a donation of 756,000 doses. A donation. Hey, let me tell y'all something. White Western governmental infrastructures don't donate shit to black people without there being a catch. And I emphasize shit to black people. Can I repeat? Don't donate a motherfucking thing to black people, black countries, black anything. Black heads, black knights, black mambas. So let's go ahead and get that cleared up. And let's look at this article. Haiti refused a donation of 756,000 doses of AstraZeneca proposed by, the WHO via the COVAX mechanism, reported Tuesday, April 6th, according to the Spanish news agency. EFE who quotes a high-ranking source requesting the anonymity within the Haitian government. According to this source, the Haitian government refused to receive the AstraZeneca vaccine manufactured under the license by Serum Institute of India because the global unrest surrounding the vaccine, considering the population of Haiti, would not accept it. Oh, the population of Haiti don't like that. That's crazy. Could you imagine why? It's actually weird to see a president, especially a puppet president, listen to its people. That's wild. I wonder what that's like to have a government who listens to their people. I wouldn't know. I'm American, guys, so I wouldn't. I know what my government be telling people to do. I know they do a lot of that. People listen to what the government tells them to do. I don't know about a government that actually listens to its people. That ain't my generation. I might be a little bit too young to remember that. Low, baby Jesus. The Haitian authorities have asked the WHO to send vaccines from Johnson & Johnson laboratories, which only requires 1 injection, which can be stored at temperatures between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius. But the WHO is reluctant to accept Haiti's demands, reminding Haiti's authorities the deadlines are running out. The fuck? What does that mean? Y'all, what does that mean? What does that mean, people? I'm genuinely curious. What does the deadlines are running out mean? Haiti was like, nah, we don't want the AstraZeneca one, but we will, which once again, Johnson & Johnson probably shouldn't take, but we don't want the AstraZeneca one. However, we will accept the donation of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And WHO was like, nah, they're reluctant to accept the quote unquote demands of Haiti because deadlines. Whose deadline? And what does that have to do with what they're willing to accept? What is your deadline? What is the deadline? The deadline for y'all to get off this AstraZeneca vaccine and test it on a bunch of unsuspecting poor and working class Haitians? Because that's what it sounds like. I'm just saying. Note that Haiti is one of the 4 countries in the world out of 192 infected with COVID not to have started to vaccinate its population against coronavirus, according to Tedros Adhanom. I'm not going to pronounce that last name. The director general of the WHO. Note that according to figures from the Ministry of Public Health in Haiti, Note that according to figures from the Ministry of Public Health, Haiti would be relatively unaffected by the coronavirus with a total of 12,000 confirmed cases as of March 28th, 2021. That's it? Bruh. Why would they want the vaccine? They're like, we're good. We're fine, guys. We're straight. Now I'm curious. Who was that leader? It wasn't Zimbabwe. Was it Zimbabwe? Where was that leader who mysteriously died of a heart attack from? Y'all, I know somebody in the group chat knows. We about to find this out together. This is crazy. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all share this video because this is wild. We on to the rabbit hole. I got to about 150, so we on to the rabbit hole right now. No, we can't send a super chat. For those of you who are on YouTube, you can't send a super chat there because YouTube is completely and totally demonetized us because they're assholes. However, you can do a super chat on Rockfin if you follow us there. I just sent the link to the chat. Tanzania. There you go. Thank you. The Lancet. Let's see how the Lancet covered this. The Lancet is the organization, or excuse me, the publication, my apologies, that put that bullshit study about hydroxychloroquine causing a mass amount of deaths. That was funded, and that study was almost exclusively funded by the Bill Gates Foundation, and then an MD, a few of them from like Harvard, debunked it. And they had to retract that article. And that is when the hydroxychloroquine nonsense finally stopped. But not before. There was a 2 or 3 month period where Western Europeans could not even circulate the hydroxychloroquine drug, the generic cheap hydroxychloroquine drug that we now know, even though we knew back then, saves lives. So this is the Lancet. So I'm interested to see what they say about this. It said government officials have dismissed COVID-19 vaccines and promoted unfounded remedies. February 2nd, 2021 in Dodoma, Tanzania, Tanzania's capital. the health minister announced the country has no plans in place to accept COVID-19 vaccines. The message follows days after President John Magufuli expressed doubt about vaccines sourced abroad without offering evidence. No, I'm sure his evidence was, we've seen how y'all move in the past and we're good on that. Thank you very much. He said the health ministry will only adopt vaccinations after they'd been certified by Tanzania's own experts. Hold up. I feel like as president of a country, that's probably the most reasonable statement that anyone can say for his own people. Does the United States accept vaccines from other countries that haven't been approved by its own experts? Granted, the U.S. doesn't even accept medication approved by its own experts here, like ivermectin, for example. They don't even accept those, or interferon alpha 2B. So I guess maybe they don't, but it's neither here nor there. It goes on. The article goes on to say, we are not yet satisfied that those vaccines have been clinically proven safe. Health Minister Dorothy Gwajima told the news conference, flanked by unmasked government health officials. What? So yeah, like I said, this is the same publication that tried to sell y'all that hydroxychloroquine was gonna kill you. So I just want everybody to know that. That's why it's being framed like this. That's why I chose this article. In the glare of cameras, Gwajima and the health officials drank an herbal concoction, including ginger, garlic, and lemons, and inhaled steam from herbs, promoting them as natural means of killing the virus. Gwajima went on to warn journalists about reporting unofficial figures on COVID-19 or any disease. I think that's fair too. Also, I guess that's supposed to be an insult. You know what's crazy about that? People have been telling me this entire time, like either from most of them that I know are from Central South America or Caribbean, that ginger was supposed to help prevent and fight the virus. And that's weird. Cause I mean, I don't know how they knew that, but maybe because it's the type of the virus, maybe because it's the type of virus it is. And it was, I mean, that's why hydroxychloroquine works on it. It's because it's something that's similar to something that's plagued Africa in the past, the SARS virus. And so maybe that's how they knew. But that's interesting because people kept telling me to take ginger for it if I did get it. Tanzania's COVID-19 response is distressing, according to the Lancet. At the government, hey, I just want everybody to know, making sure the vaccine is safe for its people by ensuring that our government's health officials ensure its safety through rigorous testing before we give it to said people is actually a very distressing response to COVID. Did y'all know that? Doesn't that make all the sense in the world? It's not fucking weird to y'all, right? It's not weird. It's not weird to say that that's a distressing, like common sense, ethical, scientific methodology is actually distressing, a distressing response. Like that's not super weird. And they wonder why they're not, the whole controlling of the narrative isn't working quite like it used to. They're wondering why, because this shit is dumb. The way they frame this is dumb. It's just dumb. I don't know what else to call it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. At the government-run Mount Meru Hospital in Arusha, a small city in northern Tanzania, the first COVID cases was recorded. Whoever wrote this article, by the way, this is a fucking medical journal. Where's there such bad grammar? Anyway, March 16, 2020. This case saw Tanzanian Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa closing all schools the next day, extending this closure to universities the following day and banning all public gatherings with the exception of mosques, churches and mosques. Okay, so what's the problem? I thought y'all said he had a distressing response. Cause last time I checked, they actually were. Oh my God, are you kidding? Since April 2020, by April 2020, Tanzania stopped releasing official COVID-19 statistics. There had been 509 positive cases and 21 deaths and 181 recoveries. And really quick, population of Tanzania is 58 million motherfucking people. Y'all got people pressed over a government that is refusing to take an experimental vaccine because they were worried about safety. And oh, surprise, surprise, like I said, we're about to cover the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that is having an issue with what? Safety. Not according to Niko, according to the FDA. Y'all pressed about this government, worried over the safety of these vaccines because they had 509 positive cases in a country that has 58 million people. 58 million people. I'm not surprised they stopped reporting because there clearly didn't seem to be that much to report. Is that a possibility? Like, why are we dedicating valuable resources? It's not like Tanzania is the richest country in the world, to being like vigilant on behalf of not us, but 'cause I'm sure they have their own internal way of dealing with this, but it's being vigilant according to Western medical institutions. Why do I need to dedicate resources to reporting to y'all and making sure that our numbers are right for y'all when we only had 509 cases at the time out of 58 million people? That is crazy. We need to do what they're, you know what's crazy? Because you know Nigeria had the same situation. Nigeria had like 200 million people. You know what a bad week looked like for them? A bad week for them was like 150 infections at the height of COVID. Like that was a bad week for them. 200 million people. Nigeria is as populated as the United States, people. They had a bad week of like 150 people infected. It was like, and then one old person died, and it was like the biggest deal in the world to them because they could have saved that one person. That's how they feel. That's what they feel. That was a bad week for them. This is awkward. Hey, look. Not gonna lie to you. This is kind of, I mean, it's just what I said earlier, right? Maybe I should go move to Africa and be a president somewhere. No, I don't want to be assassinated. But if I became president of an African country, would y'all like protect me? Would y'all go like ride out for me? Like, I don't want to be assassinated. I need y'all to just talk about me all the time so that I don't get assassinated. Because he's saying exactly what I said like 15 minutes ago. You should stand firm. Vaccinations are dangerous. If the white man was able to come up with vaccinations, he should have found a vaccination for AIDS by now. He would have found a vaccination for tuberculosis by now. He would have found a vaccination for malaria by now. He would have found a vaccination for cancer by now, he said at the end of January 2021. Tanzania's reasons for refusing COVID vaccines are baffling. I think the government was compelled to take that decision because they had already declared Tanzania a COVID-free country. Well, then, if they said that, what reason do we have not to believe them? If there's been like some widespread panic in Tanzania that we don't know about, if they declared themselves to be COVID-free, for, you know, obviously it's probably 1 or 2 people that could still get it that may not know they have it. But for the most part, if they declared themselves COVID-free, why would they need to take vaccines? It's not like white people are jumping on first-class flights to go on vacation in Tanzania to bring COVID over there. I'm confused. So now we just don't take, because last time I checked, the government likes to take world leaders at their word unless it's a government or world leader that they don't like, saying something that they don't like. Remember, because we were just talking about this in Haiti, the whatchamacallit, the ambassador of Haiti was like, there's no way there could be DEA. No way whatsoever. And we were like, well, how do you know that? And they were like, it's just no way. We just know it. And the U.S. government was like, we believe you. And then, which is probably the saddest part of this whole situation, which I was already familiar with. This part I was. President Samia Suluhu, who took over 3 months ago as leader of Tanzania from John Magufuli, a prominent coronavirus skeptic who died in March from heart complications, opening up the prospect of a new approach to COVID. Listen, people, he was not a COVID skeptic. They just told you all they were drinking an herbal remedy to treat COVID at a press conference. They didn't say it didn't exist. They just said we're not taking white man's solution, and they're in Africa. I think they have all the reason in the world to be skeptical of what white men offer them. Can we once again agree? White men have never, white institutions, white worldly institutions have never and ever gave shit to black people. They've never given shit to black people or black countries where there wasn't strings attached, especially in Africa. He was not a coronavirus skeptic. This is a lie. That's a lie, bro. He just decided to pursue other remedies until they could prove to him that the vaccine was safe, which right now isn't really looking good for them, right? Okay. So here we are now. Here we are. Shadowban Refugee, thank you very much for the tip on Rockfan. These Haitian savages want to kill their own people. He's sarcastic. How dare these savages refuse the benevolent donation of an untested, unapproved gene therapy shot? They must do what they're told for progress. Liberal cuckbag sovereignty only exists when you're a white imperial power. Otherwise, you're a savage. So saith the white. so saith the white first world liberal. So it's talking here. What has the new president said about COVID? She's admitted the virus is circulating and urged people to take precaution. The old president never said the virus wasn't circulating. Hand washing, using masks and social distancing. I mean, they said in the Lancet article that whenever COVID became a thing, the president who just died did shut everything down except for churches and mosques. Now they're saying, I believe the coronavirus disease has been eliminated by God, he said. I'm pretty sure that's not the last thing he said. And that's not the only thing he said. I'm sure he's a God-fearing man. Or he was, excuse me. But first of all, I know that this isn't a Western publication bitching about someone using hopes and prayers to solve problems. I know that ain't the case. I know goddamn well. Oh shit. Y'all is the hopes and prayers. Y'all's an institution of hopes and prayers. Every time some shit breaks down in the West, y'all like, man, hopes and prayers, y'all. Hopes and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, everybody. Thoughts and prayers, everybody. Another massacre happened. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Just started another war in another country. Let's thoughts and prayers for the people who are about to go assassinate or go murder in the name of resources and imperialism. Thoughts and prayers. I know y'all not complaining about that. I mean, how many times have presidents in this country, literally, or leaders and presidents said, we have to pray for this country. We have to pray. We have to pray. Don't take no ivermectin, though. Don't do that. Physical fitness. Well, yeah. Do you know that 100% of the NBA, 100% of the NFL, 100% of the MLB, out of all of them, none of them have died? Do you think that there could be some common link between the three leagues? Could it be that they're all within a certain age group and really fit? Maybe. Physical fitness is not a bad thing to suggest. Steam inhalation. And by the way, steam inhalation of herbal remedies and I'm never going to discount herbal remedies. Good God, no. Why would I do that? That's stupid. Also, I think that I'm going to take the advice I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like how I feel about Cuba. If Cuba put out a vaccine, or they in there, and they are, if we somehow got a hold of it, I'd be like, you know what? Shit, I'll consider this. It's Cuba. They really don't miss when it comes to medical advancements. Once again, put cancer in an inhaler. I'm gonna believe them. But also, Africa has been dealing with SARS and COVID type viruses for a long, long time. And they've gotten really, really, really good at treating them. And when all the African nations were using interferon alpha 2B and hydroxychloroquine, and then once again, I told y'all for a bad week in Nigeria, who has 200 million people, it was 150 cases. Not even deaths, just cases. While the United States is estimating that they've had thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of deaths due to COVID. That's what they're saying. That's what the U.S. is saying. So, herbal remedies country, 500 cases out of 58 million people. Fuck herbal remedies country, 400,000 plus deaths. Maybe y'all should go pick some flowers and make some tea. Maybe that's what y'all need to be doing. I'm just gonna listen to the Africans when it comes to a disease they've been dealing with literally longer than most people have been alive, or most people my age have been alive, I should say. I'm only 32. I know the gray in the beard might fool you, but I'm only 32. So what we are seeing here, in my opinion, and the person who suggested that we start looking this stuff up, thank you, and let me know if you believe my in. Because they're directly comparing the way they handle the virus, and one comes off as condescending. The little black president don't know what he's doing. One comes off as condescending. The other one comes off as, look, she knows what she's doing. Interestingly enough, nobody is actually saying how many cases Tanzania has reported since she's taken over. Why is that? Why is that? And wasn't it one of the big deals about the last president? Y'all swore he was hiding something. Why didn't she? If she's on y'all's team, and you know COVID is a big problem in Tanzania still. Why are they not reporting it? What's the new numbers for Tanzania? What are the new numbers for Tanzania? Tanzania COVID cases. Oh, coincidence. So after they get my guy out, you know, he passes away. Tanzania sees a 300% increase in COVID cases in 2 weeks, which is super weird because, so basically y'all telling me that the herbal remedies and stuff like that wasn't working, and you know, they basically felt like they beat COVID, and now they haven't beat it all of a sudden. Tanzania said it now has 408 new cases of COVID patients as the East African nation takes another step in confronting the issue after months of denying the pandemic was a problem. They did not say it wasn't a problem. They claimed that they had solved the problem. I'm going to keep saying that because they keep just fucking lying straight to people's faces in these articles. That's not what was said. Health Minister Dorothy Gwajima said at an event to promote the public wearing of masks in the capital of Dodoma that 284 patients were hospitalized on oxygen therapy as of July 8th. The latest data represents a 300% increase from a figure of around 100 new cases announced by President Suluhu Hassan in June 28th. Hold up real quick. So you telling me the president that supposedly knows what she is doing had a 300% increase in COVID cases on her watch? That's what you're telling me? Now, granted, even still, 300% increase is, you know what, which I always say is technically not true. They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Sometimes numbers can lie. So this is a 300% increase of what she reported as of June since June 28th. Except 58 million people, bro. 58 million people. And not for nothing, but once again, that's on her watch. That's on the new person who supposedly knows what she's doing. That's on her watch that this is happening. So, just saying. Oh no. Tanzania needs to publish data on the spread of COVID-19 before getting approval for more than $570 million emergency loan from the International Monetary Fund. An official from Washington. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh shit. Don't do it. 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 Don't take the money. Oh jeez. So, the final conclusion. Haiti president who did not accept vaccines to the WHO is assassinated by what appear to be Colombians and a Haitian who was a DEA informant. And then the ambassador for Haiti subsequently asks for aid from the U.S. State Department. The president of Tanzania suddenly dies after his steadfast approach to COVID, people into austerity through aid, mostly funded by the U.S. Bruh. What this really does look like, and I can't say with any 100% certainty for obvious reasons, but what this really does look like is that they literally are assassinating world leaders, especially the black ones. Mostly, it seems like, as usual, only the black ones. They're assassinating world leaders. Aid means, come on, guys, look at Syria once again. Look at Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. We know what U.S. aid looks like. Aid means we're taking your motherfucking country over. That's what that means. Holy shit. This is a wild development. Wow. To the let me go. I gotta give a shout out to the person in Rockfin who asked me that question. Brian Fausch was the one who asked me that question on Rockfin about the connection between the Haitian president being assassinated and then the deaths of African leaders who basically had the same stance as him regarding the acceptance of vaccines into their country. Wow. Well, thank you guys for being for having me going. I'm seeing I'm gonna be down this damn rabbit hole all day because of y'all. I tried to avoid it. Tony watches closely. Thank you very much for being here. Missed you, man. Where you been at? All right, people. So now we're going to be talking about the Johnson & Johnson jab that was recently reported yesterday. You know, there was some problems reported. I just put the link to the Rockfin stream, the Rockfin live stream, because we are about to migrate over there. Because you know we don't talk about the nature, the potentially I won't say unsafe nature. Let's just say the unsure nature of how the vaccine may react in some people's bodies. We don't talk about that on YouTube because, well, you know how that goes. We're trying to be here for a long time, not a short time. Still trying to have a good time though. So go right now over to Rockfin. We're still live. We're not going nowhere, but we definitely want to make sure that we can have this conversation without being you know, screwed over. All right, people. So for everybody else, if you cannot make it over to Rockfin, make sure y'all go find your balance and keep deeper into this stuff with the connection with these actors. Woo, that's crazy. But I hope to see we have 89 people right now watching, 98, one of the two. Hope to see all y'all. Head over to Rockfin right now. Just post a link in the chat, but the link is also in the description. Go follow us over there so we can talk about this Johnson & Johnson vaccine. All right, peeps. See y'all there. And for my